Halloween is now the third version of this movie with the same name, and it is an excellent film that I had a lot of fun with.
Wasn't it her brother who murdered all those babysitters?
No, it was not her brother. That's something that people made up.
Do you know that I pray every night that he would escape?
What the hell did you do that for?
So I can kill him.
So I guess now we have to either call the Halloween films always include their date, or I guess you could say the Carpenter Halloween and the Zombie Halloween and the David Gordon Green Halloween. And it's just, I don't know why you had to do that, the same name. But whatever, I don't know. They like the new series of kind of reboots or revitalizations. A lot of times they're using the same name as the original, and it just confuses the matter. But I think they believe that if there's more name recognition, maybe possibly, I don't know. But this brings together, a lot like Jamie Lee Curtis, the originator of the Scream Girl, the Final Girl, and they kind of bring back Michael Myers, and this is kind of ignores all of the other Halloween films, and it's just really a direct sequel to the first one. And I found it incredibly effective. I loved Laurie Strode's character, like that, and played by Jamie Lee Curtis. Like it kind of reminded me of like Linda Hamilton from the Terminator 2, where like she had something horrific happen in the past, and now ever since then she's trained because she knew eventually it was going to come back for her. She had to be ready to kill Michael Myers when it did. And it's kind of a really interesting to take on because it's ruined her life, with her daughter Judy Greer and like their family and their granddaughter. Like she's kind of lived a lonely life and behind a fence and with a lot of different locks around the house, and she has a bunch of guns and she practices every day on mannequins, and like she's just waiting for him to get out. She's praying for him to get out so she can kill him. And like of course, Michael gets out because they're going to transfer him. And I like things they did with that, though, with the psychiatrist. I like some of the things that they did. And I like the thing kind of like instigating some of these parts is that there's these podcasters which are like going around the true crime podcasters. Like they're exploring the story of Michael Myers, and they kind of They bring him the mask, and it's a little over the top, the setting of the institution, but I think it's kind of it looks cool. I see what they're going for, and of course when he gets out, Michael Myers, so many of the scenes are just incredibly effective. Like he is more now, like he's like a serial killer, and he's like single-minded, and like I love how the camera work when you see him. Some of the scenes are in a trailer where like he goes into the woman in the garage, grabs a hammer, goes in, bashes their brains in, then takes a knife and moves on to a new house to kill someone else. And like there's multiple scenes like that where you just kind of see him outside of a house and you see him kind of slowly walking in and like killing the people. And I found it really effective and creepy, and like worried that if you might want to make sure to lock your house because of how it's really effective. But at a certain point, I was a little worried because she has the granddaughter, and the granddaughter has a group of friends, and like they introduce them, and I'm like, oh, the movie now just going to turn into a normal slasher, and this is like the group of friends that's all going to die. And they do a little bit of that, but the tropes of the slasher genre, they're a little different in this one. And I like the changes they made. Like it feels like these kids are kind of like Generation Z, that things are a little different, although they're still douchey. And like they did some interesting things with it. Like even though some of the characters are kind of throwaway. Like I mean, and I didn't like though that one of the douchiest characters doesn't get his comeuppance. Like, because he kind of disappears from the movie at a certain point. But, I mean, other than that, like, I like the things they did with the young. And it didn't take over the movie. Like, the older, Jamie Lee Curtis was still really strong presence, and really, they didn't go away from her too much. Like, they had a little bit of stuff, but it didn't overdo the younger, generation stuff. The only other odd thing that might kind of other people may really not like, but I didn't mind, is that they're kind of like a series of jokes throughout the movie to kind of cut the tension. And some of them are effective, and some of them are just kind of throwaway, and they're just kind of weird. I think part of the problems that with the one is that there's like almost like 5-minute scene where these cops come up that we've never met, and like they're like arguing about like a banh mi. Like he got his partner like a peanut butter and jelly banh mi. And they're like, oh, the banh mi is just talking about the bread. It's not an actual sandwich. It's just a type of bread. And it's like a long diatribe that is trying to be funny. It doesn't really go anywhere. And then you don't even see their deaths. Like, you see the body of one of them, but it's like, I mean, if you're going to have these characters, I felt like they should have been introduced earlier on, and you maybe have a couple smaller jokes with them so that you might care about them at all. That's the one thing, like, some people you don't really care about when they're killed. But it's still, I mean, I liked everything they did with it. They honored a lot the characters and the traditions, and there's some callbacks. They're not like overly done, but like there's some callbacks, like, but they flip the hunter and the prey. They kind of do some flips with it, and I found that really enthralling and really kind of thrilling and really like, well, yes, kind of like it. They flipped the script on some of the classic tropes and what happened in the original, and there's some great scenes with that, and everyone in it I liked all the people. Like, I mean, I really can't complain that much about it. I really enjoyed the movie. I think it'd definitely be rewatchable too. I mean, I would give it like an 8.75 or a 9 out of 10. It's an excellent movie, and it's great for Halloween. They're great, the Halloween season. Like, you should definitely, if you like horror films, you should go check it out on the big screen. And thanks for watching. And check out the playlist on my head, or subscribe to me on that V over there. Thanks.